Hi, we're Jake and Emily, the two roaming souls, an adventurous couple living and traveling in our self-converted camper van. And this summer, we're exploring Canada. In this video, we're embarking on one of the most incredible backpacking trips we've ever done, camping at Garibaldi Lake and climbing to the summit of Panorama Ridge. We'll take you along on this scenic adventure, teaching you what you need to know to do it yourself.
We completed this trip in mid-July of 2024. On the first day of our trip, we started the 9-kilometer hike up to Garibaldi Lake from Rubble Creek Trailhead. We highly recommend doing Panorama Ridge as an overnight backpacking trip, or better yet, 2 nights so you can really enjoy the journey at a leisurely pace.
We found our 2-night backpacking itinerary to be quite perfect, with manageable distances each day and plenty of time to relax and enjoy the lake. Garibaldi Lake is a stunningly blue glacial lake that in itself is a worthy hiking destination. But the real showstopper is the difficult hike to the top of Panorama Ridge, a mountain peak with simply majestic views.
There are several popular ways to do Panorama Ridge. The most difficult but fastest way to hike Panorama Ridge is as a day hike. But this challenging 27-kilometer hike should only be attempted by fit and experienced hikers.
Or you can complete Panorama Ridge as part of an overnight backpacking trip, like we did. To do this, you'll need to reserve a campsite at Garibaldi Lake Campground, Taylor Meadows, or Helm Creek. All 3 require permits that you can book on camping.bcparks.ca. Both Garibaldi Lake and Taylor Meadows are reached by hiking from Rubble Creek Trailhead, about 25 minutes south of Whistler, or about an hour and a half north of Vancouver.
Garibaldi Lake Campground is definitely the most sought after. This campground provides great access for enjoying the lake. Taylor Meadows is the second most popular campsite, located in beautiful alpine meadows about 1.6 kilometers from Garibaldi Lake. So if you camp here, you could still day hike to Garibaldi Lake to hang out. The third and final campsite is Helm Creek, typically visited by beginning at a different trailhead entirely. The shortest route starts at Cheakamus Lake parking and follows Helm Creek to reach Panorama Ridge from the north.
We highly recommend Garibaldi Lake Campground because relaxing and swimming at the lake is something that Taylor Meadows and Helms Creek simply can't match. And we heard that both other places can be exceptionally buggy. Permits are available on the BC Parks website up to 4 months in advance, often booking quickly for peak summer months. We find the calendar view to be the easiest way to see what's available. Permits cost $10 Canadian per night per adult, plus a transaction fee of $6 per tent pad per night, maxing out at $18. So altogether, for our 2-night reservation for 2 adults, we paid $54 Canadian.
If you don't see your desired dates available, check back diligently for cancellations. That's how we scored our permits just a couple days before the trip. Now back to the trail.
So far, if you're moving, the mosquitoes are not that bad, but it has prevented us from taking any breaks longer than like a minute because they start to swarm you. So there's not a ton of great views within like the first 6 kilometers or so, but this is just a 100-meter detour to the barrier viewpoint. It's really cool here. And then we saw some rock slide happening over there.
We don't care if it's only a dream. Nothing is really what it seems anyway. Now little by little, in the twilight's gentle flow, in the dance of fading light.
The ascent to Garibaldi Lake is a really steady climb in the shade almost the entire way. It took us about 3.5 hours to reach the lake with no extended breaks.
So the trail's actually been really, really good the whole way, right until you get to Garibaldi Lake. If the water's high enough, kind of navigating along the water's edge here is a little tricky.
You
When we arrived at Garibaldi Lake Campground, it was kind of hazy and overcast across the lake, but we still got to experience that crazy blue water.
Home sweet home. We searched a little bit to choose our campsite. Most of them are pretty wooded, which is nice for privacy, but you don't get a ton of views. But we found a couple that have pretty nice views. This one, 27. It's pretty nice. We can see the lake and some of the mountains.
Yeah, I love the mountains.
Number 5 was also kind of a nice one, but it was taken.
While each campsite is numbered, we found that there wasn't really good signage to tell you which sites are where. But we had taken a screenshot of the campground map beforehand, which was super helpful. Once you choose a campsite, clip the permit onto the numbered post. Campgrounds are equipped with outhouses, but be sure to bring your own toilet paper and hand sanitizer.
Drinking water can be filtered or boiled right from the lake. And since this is bear country, there are some important measures taken to mitigate negative bear encounters. For starters, always carry bear spray on you. Then, all food and scented items need to be suspended from the provided bear hangs or carried with you. Mind you, the bear hangs are in the sun for most of the day, so if you have anything that will melt, like chocolate, you might want to keep it on you during the day. And all cooking and washing should be done at the provided shelters away from campsites. The shelters have a sink basin and strainer, but no running water. When washing dishes, strain out food particles and then pack them out with you as garbage.
After our campsite was set up, we enjoyed a beautiful afternoon swimming and relaxing at the lake. And honestly, for a glacial alpine lake, Garibaldi was a surprisingly comfortable temperature.
Good morning, everyone. We are starting our journey to Panorama Ridge at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, it's a 8.3 mile hike, but only 2,300 elevation.
We'll leave kilometers below.
Yeah, we got to leave most of our gear at camp, which makes it really nice because we're not carrying as much weight.
Yeah, should be easier today.
Let's go. So the first mile today is in the shade. After that, probably going to be in the sun for the rest of the hike. Good reason to start early. Hope you're enjoying these shots because we are enduring some serious mosquito bites for stopping for more than a second.
Wow, this hike is starting off so incredibly beautiful though. You got the black tusk with the lush green mountains. And then you have tons of wildflowers here. Some nice little ponds. Very stunning. We climb up right up through there.
Shortly after the intersection with Helm Creek Trail, you start the hardest part of this hike, the final push to the top of Panorama Ridge. It's common to encounter patches of snow here, even in the summer.
We were very happy to have waterproof boots and trekking poles to help navigate the snow. Micro spikes would also be helpful, but in an effort to save weight, we decided not to bring them. If your footwear has good tread, it's usually enough if you hike carefully, but read some recent reviews to plan for what to expect when you visit.
The trail becomes a little bit hard to follow, but just look for orange trail markers.
So insanely beautiful.
And don't forget to turn around for incredible views of the Black Tusk, a dramatic stratovolcano. It's hard to resist the urge to take a photo every 10 seconds, but it really does just keep getting better and better up here. Although there's still mosquitoes, even though we're above tree line, which is a little annoying. Alright, we made it to the tippy top.
It's probably windy.
I would say this last like 0.3 third of a mile is not entirely necessary, like the best views.
But still, you just get different views that are epic, so
yeah.
can't complain.
If you have the energy, it's nice to push on.
Yeah.
A popular thing to do here is slide down the snow from the top of Panorama Ridge, which looked super fun. But we tend to be risk adverse in the backcountry since medical help is so far away. And honestly, we didn't find the hike to be that hard, so we didn't mind hiking down. Sometimes we're a little too good at keeping strangers out of our videos, but make no mistake, this campground in the summer is anything but quiet and lonely. With a steady stream of backpackers and day hikers, outhouse doors slamming, and the screeching of bear hang pulleys, there's almost always a good deal of noise. So just try your best to maintain a respectful level, especially if you're with a group. These head bug screen things are ridiculous, but they're also one of our favorite backpacking items.
For a detailed list of everything we pack for a backpacking trip, check out our backpacking checklist on our website. But I want to note some packing considerations for this trip in particular. Since there are bear hangs, you don't need a bear canister, just a bag to hang your items. And trekking poles and microspikes can be very helpful for the rocks and snow up to the summit. And check the description for helpful links to all the things we mentioned in this video. And while you're at it, give this video a like to help our channel grow.
Thanks for coming along on another Two Roaming Souls adventure. Subscribe to our channel for more travel and adventure content. Next, we're doing a roundup of our top 10 things to do in Whistler, plus tons more videos about Canada's best destinations. See you next time.